Hi, probably about time for an update on the Orange River. I've been away for a week or so for a bit of a break, and I have been watching the numbers, the rainfall and the flows, but nothing serious has happened. There's been some localized flooding with more rainfall falling in parts of the northern Free State and eastern Free State. Alival Noord had quite a bit of flow going past it. But let's just look quickly through all the numbers, see what's up. Starting on the Vaal side, the Vaal Dam is at 101.7%. My internet is fairly slow at the moment. You'll see this on all the dams. The in and outflows are fairly well matched. So we're not expecting much to change there. At Bloemhof Dam, 101%. Nothing much going on in the lower Vaal. Not much flow. There is a bit of flow at Smitsdrift going from the Bloemhof Dam. In the upper Orange, Geriep Dam is at 101% with an outflow of 665 cubics. There's still a little bit more than that flowing into the dam, but not much more. And that 665 is about full hydroelectrical generation outflow. Van der Kloof at 104% with also about 660 cubic outflow. Then looking at the lower Orange, at Blowpits area near Ugrabies, that's just over 1,000 cubics. At Katlani it's down to 950. So the river is dropping. It's dropping slowly, but it will probably keep on dropping if there's no significant rains. So looking at the rainfall over the next 3 days, not much to expect. 5 days still not much. In the next 10 days, a little bit more in the eastern Free State, but still not much. There are some thunderstorms that show over the next 3 or 4 days, but nothing particularly serious. Now some of you will have noticed that this pump sounds a lot better than what it did at the beginning of the season. And now it was not bearings. There was some form of cavitation going on. And I had to change some things. I don't have the details. I wasn't here when they did it. Something that I wanted to just comment on. If you looked at the last video that I put up on the Gamtoos Valley, the Koga Dam status, near the end you would have seen a small snip where I showed the water flowing down the canal, and the canal looks like there's a lot of water flowing until you see it dropping down into the pipes, where the pipes dip down through valleys and things like that. And I want to compare it to our pump here, and then you would see that is not a lot of water flowing for a lot of farming going on. They have really improved the irrigation systems to use the water to the absolute best potential. So anyways, things look as if they are normalizing, both weather-wise and river-wise. We are getting much higher temperatures than the last 2 years. We're getting closer to our normal temperatures. I mean, even at 7 o'clock at night you'll see it's still above 40 degrees. But for around here that's normal. I almost forgot. Before we leave, let's have a quick look at what the baboons are doing. Now the drone doesn't really like flying at these temperatures, but with the sun having set just below the horizon, I decided to take a chance. And this time I decided to go in low and very slowly and try and spot them so that I could hover and observe them closer up. Going in initially I didn't spot them, but if you look closely in the bottom left corner you see some of them, and they are there. They're just difficult to spot in the small screen on the remote control. There's a couple there even. And having missed them going in, I took a quick flight over the island and I thought I could hear them on the bottom point of the island. So I went back there, and this time went slower. And there I managed to spot them. They were relaxed. I thought they would be running away from the drone, especially when that one on the left, middle of the screen slightly to the left, started to move off when I got closer, but they tended to remain and even start to get aggressive towards the drone. There he goes on the left, and I thought that was it, they would disappear. But then I slowly moved closer and closer, and the bigger guys were starting to make some intimidating noises and movements, getting to the tops of the trees in the end. If you look closely in the trees, there's a lot more than just the one guy sitting on the right-hand side. In the middle below, you will shortly see a couple of them moving, but they're all in there. Even near the top of the screen, there are some of them. And the closer you get, the more you start to see. And they don't really seem to be much intimidated by the drone. I think the guy on the right is going to react shortly. And he made some movements like he was trying to intimidate the drone. It kind of looked like they reacted to it as if it was a small predatory bird. So they were not too anxious about it, but they were paying attention to it. Teeth on the right-hand side, if you just go back there, showing his teeth, and that would happen a couple of times. I slowly got closer and closer, and at one stage when I had the camera look down a bit more, right under the drone in the trees, there was a guy. So, near the bottom of the screen, you will see the ones that were right under the drone. And I thought these were just a couple of them until I moved on a bit. And this is near the bottom end, downstream end of the island where it gets really narrow. And then I saw that they were all concentrated into this area. You'll shortly see a lot more of them. A couple of them near the bottom of the screen, but even in the trees there are more. The top right. A bunch of the females and small ones scattering, and the big males coming to the top of the tree. But after a short while, you'll see the youngsters starting to investigate as well. The guy on the left in particular looked like he wanted to just jump up and grab the drone. I seem to have passed over most of them, so I turned around and had a look up again. Tried to get in a bit more closer to them, drop down a bit, see if it scared them off or how they would react. Teeth again on that one. Now you can see a lot of them. So anyways, this was the first time that I got a real good look at them. And I was surprised that they were concentrated on this far downstream end of the river, but they were probably just having after the heat of the day, having a quick rest near the waters. Crossing the shallow waters. Anyway, if someone showed you pictures of the baboon in the trees, it would be easy to make something out of them, baboons trapped on an island, but in reality, they are fine. I'll keep you updated on what the river does, but I'm not going to do that frequent updates on the river because it's kind of normalizing. But I don't know where to point. Somewhere around here you will see a video that I did yesterday on another waterfall on the lower Orange that locals know about, that the rest of the country doesn't really know about. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.